Hey, good Tuesday morning, everybody. It's meteorologist Brad Panovich. Miserable cold rain out there this morning, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but we really got to talk about this Thursday severe weather risk, which the ingredients are really starting to come together, and the threat is increasing for Thursday. So let's focus first on the system over us now. If you've been outside, it's a miserable cold rain. We actually got some cloud to ground lightning out there with some elevated thunderstorms. Not at the surface. The elevated means they're tapping into warm air above our heads. But look at these temperatures. I mean, upper 30s, low 40s. We told you yesterday it's going to be like a miserable cold rain. And sure enough, it is. We're kind of wedged in with this cool air pumping down the northeastern facing slope. So this is not a severe weather risk, just a miserable cold setup for rain. Our system we're watching is just moving into the west right now. You can kind of see it moving in across areas of the Intermountain West. This is really the system that's going to be heading our way for Thursday. And it's going to bring severe weather across a big chunk of the country. Kind of let me show you how this is going to unvolve here. So first things first, let's look at the severe weather outlook. We'll look for day one, which is you could see the medium risk across a big chunk of the country. This is where we expect things to develop, but there is a little bit of a severe weather risk down here into the southeast as well. Let's go to day two because this is where the severe weather risk really starts to get enhanced here. And you could see a big chunk of the mid-south under this risk for severe weather. And in fact, one of the things that we're watching is this area that's kind of highlighted. You might see it on the map here, right in here. This area here is in what we call significant risk for tornadoes. So 15-30% chance of tornadoes within that area. So pretty significant threat for a severe weather outbreak with tornadoes being our primary concern. There will be damaging winds and hail, but this is a definite tornado setup across the Mid-South. Now let's go to day three, which is going to be Thursday, and you can see our area beginning to be under that risk for severe storms. And look at the big area in red. That includes basically areas from Raleigh to just the Greensboro area, Charlotte, down to Greenville, Atlanta, and then right in here. And there is also a significant risk of severe weather right in here. The timing of this is not great for us because it looks like the front is going to get here in the middle of the afternoon, and we'll have the worst heating of the day timing out with the front, which is going to have all the ingredients there for that front to tap into. So that's kind of the overall outlook. Let me show you the probabilistic, which is basically going to show you the probability of seeing severe weather. So the area in red has a 30% chance of seeing severe weather within 25 miles of any point on the map in that red area. And tornadoes are certainly the concern here. We could see a couple strong tornadoes, but also damaging winds because this is going to be a frontal boundary. I do suspect we're probably going to see some kind of squall line type setup with embedded rotation within it. So let's kind of break down the timing of this because I have a little better idea of the timing of all this as we go into Thursday afternoon. So let's get right into the timing of all this. This is the rain this morning. You can see this was early this morning. Heavy rain will be with us most of the day. Begins to taper off a little bit tonight after 10 or 11. But the real story of what's heading our way is this thing. You can see it here in the middle of the country. This is the severe weather maker. So it'll bring severe weather to parts of the southern plains and Texas today. And then going into tomorrow, watch the severe weather develop here across areas where we've got that really heightened risk. And you can see all these tiny little cells developing, likely a lot of rotation within there. We just got a lot of wind shear ingredients for these storms to come together and produce rotating storms. You can see the evolution of that. This is into tomorrow night. So even after dark, we might have a pretty pronounced severe weather outbreak going on with tornadoes possible. Then it pushes to the east. So here's the Carolinas. This is after midnight Thursday morning. We'll go towards Thursday morning. I'm going to stop this about 6 a.m. So 6 a.m., what's going on here is we've got strong southerly winds pumping in warm, humid air. In fact, even early in the morning on Thursday, temperatures across our area could be around 60 to 63 degrees. So really warm. That's almost close to our average high, and it's in the morning hours. At the same time, the jet stream is wrapping around in this direction above our heads, and that is changing wind direction with height. So what you can't see on this map is the fact that that is actually a different wind direction with height. So down here at the ground, you've got one speed, but up here aloft, you've got a stronger wind speed coming in. So as this moves in, as these storms develop vertically, they'll be able to tap in to that wind shear and cause them to rotate. So you can kind of see this broken line. It begins to weaken a little bit because look at the time. It's 10:30 in the morning. We kind of expect that because that's the cool part of the day. But as we get into the afternoon, we're getting towards 1, 2 o'clock. the heating develops, and then here's the front. So this is the concern. This is 2 o'clock. If this slows down even a little bit more, it's going to give more, it's going to give more time for that warm, humid air to surge up in here and provide fuel for these storms. So you kind of get the idea of why that red area was kind of highlighted more from here to the coast, because we know that's going to be the area that has more time for the atmosphere to get amped up for these storms. But you can clearly see that line at 2 o'clock. And again, my guidance only goes at 2 o'clock, but this will be pushing to the east slowly throughout the afternoon. So let me quickly show you some of the ingredients coming together. So what I'm going to do here is plot two different products. It might look a little, messy, but the reason I want to do both of it together is I'm going to show you CAPE, or thunderstorm fuel. These are these bright colors you see below the radar. And I want to just show you the timing of this, because as that line pushes east, watch the surge of thunderstorm fuel. You see it, these blues and greens and reds. You see the scale up here at the top. So these are joules per kilogram. It's you don't need to know actually what they mean as far as the actual units, but 500 to 1,000 and higher, we start getting really, really concerned, especially with the amount of shear we have. Sometimes it doesn't take a lot of fuel if you've got a lot of wind shear, and you could see that pushing up here at the same time this line moves in. So this all coincides with the mid to late afternoon hours, which is absolutely the worst timing of this. So if this timing continues to kind of work out where the front gets here mid to late afternoon, the ingredients come more together for severe weather. Now, I'll caution you, we're still 3 days out, so there's still some details to work out, but there's things coming into clear, picture right now. And just to real quickly show you the significant tornado parameter for the southeast, again, we're at the very edge of the guidance here, so we're not, we don't have specific information on this, but you get an idea, and I showed this yesterday on the air. The significant tornado parameter is basically a scale from 0 to 10 of the ingredients for possible tornadoes. You see the scale at the bottom there. And if I go into Thursday afternoon and even Thursday night, you could see across the Carolinas that area of concern. And I'm going to stop it right here. This is basically Thursday evening. There's a big surge of this STP of around 1 to 2. And the reason that's important, it's not a huge number, but 1 to 2, we start looking at the potential for a couple isolated tornadoes. So the thing I'll tell you today, right now, is to stay weather aware. The potential for significant severe weather has increased slightly as this line pushes our direction as we go into Thursday. And just be wary that this could increase or decrease based on the setup. And again, I'll turn this back on. This is the area of greatest concern right now, the area in red, but the whole area in orange under a medium risk for severe storms on Thursday. Make sure you have at least 3 different ways to get warnings: weather radio, phone, app, something that can wake you up as well. That's why apps like WCNC Charlotte's Weather app is key. I will be posting updates throughout the next couple of days, so make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as YouTube. I will update my vlogs there in all locations, and WCNC.com for the latest on the severe weather setup.